Hey everybody, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever. It's the same old spiel with me every time. Welcome to another episode of the Witching Hour podcast. I'm your host, as always, John Royceland. With me tonight, joining me yet again on a return visit, my good friend Soda from Coventry Carols out of Long Island.
Yeah.
At Long
Yeah.
Island, New York. They've got a lot of really exciting news to bring to us tonight for their band Coventry Carols, whom I've seen. I want to say, God, I actually got a photo update on my phone from the show. When I first saw you guys, you were on tour. You were playing in Baltimore.
Yes.
Opening for Life of Agony, as well as Sick of It All.
That's where we met. Yeah.
Tremendous show. You guys were incredible. Honestly, incredible. First impression, wife was definitely over there. As soon as you guys got off stage, buying up all your gear. And we listened to you guys, as a matter of fact, the entire ride home.
That's great.
From Baltimore to where we are. And we have been fans ever since. So I think that was actually 2 years now already.
No, geez. Year and a half.
Was it? Is that it? I wanted to say something like that, but you know, I'm on this slide going down.
No, it was
the hill.
a year and a half. It was March, April of 2023.
Was it only 23? Yeah, I guess it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, because when they said, I'm thinking, man, it couldn't have been that long ago. There's no way. But regardless, I am thrilled to have you back tonight. I am thrilled to see you guys are playing out so much. You guys definitely have a great sound. For those of you that are just watching the show, just being introduced to Coventry Carols, Coventry has a really good the indie persuasion rock music. It is a three-piece band.
Yes.
We've got Soda on lead vocals and guitar.
Yes.
Big Clifford on bass and backup.
Yeah, Sugar Bear,
right? Sugar Bear, and Terry Taylor on drums. And I'll tell you what, man, these three guys live on stage, there is so much emotion and so much sound. You guys are captivating.
Thank you.
You truly are. I mean, anybody if you're playing at a show, at a club, if they don't know you, never heard of you, and they're there to just whatever, have a drink, unwind, if they do not stop, put their drink down and turn and honestly watch you guys for the rest of the night, they are truly missing out and they have no idea what they're missing on top of it.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, not trying to set you up there. But no, man, you guys are a phenomenal band, and I want to be able to give credit where credit is due. But moving forward, I'm not even quite sure how to mention this. So the majority of you guys that are watching my show, you know that I primarily do a horror show with a touch of music. Okay, well, I saw Coventry Carols and I liked them so much, I reached out, had them on the show. Well, now Coventry Carols and the horror industry are actually coming together as one. So with that being said, the majority of you out there probably heard of the Scott Goldberg film that is completed, has a couple viewings and showings here and there in scattered theaters. I believe it is possibly for sale.
It's coming out in October in theaters, and I think Scott just put the information on the website to buy physical copies of the film if you are into that sort of thing.
Okay. Now, the film in question of what I am talking about is The Forest Hills.
Yes.
The film has a huge cast. Edward Furlong, Felissa Rose, Dee Wallace, and this was the huge return of the late Shelley Duvall, who has recently passed.
Yes.
The movie does look incredible, and it is part of the Digital Thunderdome production company's films, and Coventry Carols is made the official soundtrack, has made a track on the official soundtrack. Let me rephrase that. My apologies.
No, that was good. We're on the soundtrack.
Yes, you're on the
We're on the
soundtrack.
soundtrack. Yep.
How did something like this come about?
Well, one of my longest friends, one of my besties, Cindy, actually, probably over a year ago, sent me information about, so and so looking for music for a film. And so, be it how I roll, I immediately was like, let me just get onto it, because we had finished last August, The Crippling Fear of Night, which is our latest single, which is already a year old, came out, and that has a special story unto itself. I don't want to get too into detail because I know we don't have, hours to talk about everything, but
unfortunately
that had come out, and when I found out what this in particular movie was, which was The Forest Hills, I thought that, after I talked to the guys, I was like, I really think that The Crippling Fear of Night is, it's absolutely a perfect song for this kind of movie. Again, this song has a particular story behind it. I won't get into that right now. Maybe at the end if we circle back around. But
sure. So
after submitting the song to the, I guess, music director, shortly after that, he was like, "Yeah, this is cool. Let's get it going." So that, it was as simple as that, really, this time around. And I have the soundtrack. There's soundtracks. So
nice.
And be it that we're like a nerdy band. We like physical media. We're collectors. We love movies and music and toys and stuff. So this was just a really cool thing for us to be a part of. Again, we love horror movies. So we're not like a crazy, loud, heavy, spooky, weird, crazy band. We're just an indie rock band, really. We're very transparent about what we do. There's really no bells and whistles or bullshit involved. But The Crippling Fear of Night also happens to be like our heaviest sounding song at this current point in the band's life. And it just really all worked out. The soundtrack, again, is really great. There's a lot of, it's like a hard rock soundtrack, which is kind of interesting for us to be a part of that. We're, our track is like the little track on there that's a little, maybe a bit more like, I don't know, melodic in a sense of, it's but not so in your face,
Those who listen to it and those who know your music are going to know it's also the most emotional. This is without me knowing anything else about the rest of the soundtrack. And that's what I love about your music, is that even though it might not be in your face heavy and stage diving and mosh pitting, if you really listen to the emotion in that music, the lyrics, the emotions, even just the sound of your vocals, the pitch and tone that you reach, and the band supporting you, it can be a very dark ride with you guys.
Well, that's the thing. And that's, you clearly understand what we do.
Right.
Not everybody really totally gets it. And that's great, because I do feel like a band doesn't need to be heavy sounding to be a heavy band, right. Making a heavy statement. I think that our heaviness does come from within the lyrics and from within the delivery of what we do. And again, I know you had mentioned your first experience of us was seeing us live. And I do think that is truly how this band needs to be experienced. Not that I don't love the recorded work that we have out so far, but I think being there with us in person it's a special thing. I don't want that to sound in the least bit pretentious. I honestly feel that,
sure,
there's a thing that happens. And I think it's really a beautiful thing when we get up there.
Well, to see somebody open up for bands like Life of Agony and Sick of It All, when I first met you guys, those are two hard, heavy hitting acts to open for.
Yes.
People, it's like going to see Slayer. It doesn't matter who you are. They're going to chant Slayer throughout the entire opening act's show. So you're going to be standing almost behind your rig, just kind of peeking out occasionally. And you guys all put 200% of energy into that show.
Thank you.
You brought people out onto the floor from standing against the bars and the walls, and they filled the floor up, and you guys did that.
Well,
and
thanks,
that,
John.
to me, that really says a lot. You know, you're not in your hometown. These people don't know you personally, you know, and they are there to see, let's just say, they're there to see the two main acts of the night. And
Right.
for an unknown, I apologize for that name, but for an opening act, out of town opening act, to be able to bring people onto the floor, that shows and says everything about you guys right there. You know, you didn't just stand there, and I didn't leave there saying, "Oh my God, who was that? They were awful." No, you made your mark. You definitely did, and it wasn't for the bad. You know, here it is, you know, upwards, let's say a year and a half, 2 years later,
Sure.
we have spoken already once. We
Yes.
kept in touch through the time, and I am still a fan, and I'm still supportive and eagerly awaiting your next project, which actually is releasing in a couple weeks now, I believe.
Soon. October, we have a live record coming out. We recorded it back in March, and it'll be 7 months ago, and it's finally coming out. And I guess in theory, 7 months is really not that long. It was a tedious project, though. I don't want to get into too many of the too much detail, because it just a lot didn't go the way that we anticipated, and I personally anticipated, working with the person that was
your engineer for it,
recording the show. It got a little weird, and it was confusing, but we're coming at it on the other side finally in a couple of weeks. So everybody just, you know, keep your eyes and ears out for that. We'll be posting about that and everything else. We have a really good end of year. Like the last quarter of this year is probably going to be like the highest, I guess, peak, you know, peaks and valleys all over a year, but this will be a big peak, the last quarter of the year.
And where was this recorded at?
Right close to where we live, in a small town called Farmingdale, at a studio.
Okay.
That actually just started to, like, at that time, host live shows, live bands. We were, if we were not the first band to do it, we were one of the first.
Very cool.
And it was a really, really nice night. It was really, really great, and a lot of people came through for us, and you know, we really appreciate that. And soon, it will be out soon, and we're excited to. I know I'm definitely excited to let it go, because it's something that I spent a lot of time on getting together. You know, there'll be a physical release of it, a short run, and then we're going to release it differently, though, and you'll understand that within a couple of weeks how we're going to release it, because we're not going to put it out all over right away.
Okay.
Without me getting into so much detail and, like, you know, blowing the anticipation that, you know, our small crowd
might
look forward to. So you just keep your eyes peeled for that.
I am definitely looking forward to that. And folks, by the way, a couple minutes ago, I mentioned Life of Agony. I did also want to mention, if you are in fact a fan of Life of Agony, Coventry Carols' last album, your last LP, was actually produced by guitarist and backup vocalist Joey Z of Life of Agony.
Yes, Joey Z has he co-produced, mixed, mastered, all that good stuff. Our first record and the Crippling Fear of Night single, and our hopes and intentions are to make the second record with him too, which it's done being written, and we start heavily demoing in January for that.
Okay.
So
in the studio during the cold, blistering months, and then hopefully maybe by summer hitting the road in support of?
Well, I mean, I never know, because it's a real crapshoot getting gigs. You know, we don't have a booking agent or anything like that. We, you know, people offer us shows here, tri-state area, wherever.
Right.
And we just based on whether we can afford to travel, we take whatever we can get our hands on, and then we personally book everything else. And our goal was to get back to Baltimore shortly after the tour. And I mean, I tried multiple places, and like if I cast out like 8 lines, maybe I'll get one bite, and then they can't accommodate us,
Right.
And so it's like, what do you do, and this is a whole of this is like a business side of it, which you could spend hours and hours discussing why and how come and whatever else. So
sure. Right. Wow. Well,
I mean, we want to come back to a lot of the places that we played previously to see the people, that we met. And, I mean, hey, we'll come and play your house if you want us to play in the garage. I mean, that might be the easiest thing to do. I
got a small backyard, but I do have a little porch that overlooks it. And maybe, I'll get the grill going.
Well,
and, I'm just... No, I'm sorry. I definitely, I definitely say that lightheartedly, because no, you guys are definitely ones to be taken serious. You've got a great sound, and I personally, speaking as a fan, I can't wait for you guys to be able to come back through and hear you guys are going to be playing somewhere in the area for me.
Yeah, I hope soon. You never know. We're going away a little bit. We were away in April with our friends in this band called Egg from Connecticut. We've made buddies with them, so we've been like trading gigs throughout the past year with them. And we have a few like out of state things planned for the rest of the year. And then locally we have a bunch of we're lucky to have a bunch of really cool shows that we were asked to do throughout the course of the rest of the year. So it's good. I mean, like I had said, the last quarter of this year is probably going to be our peak. It hasn't been the worst year for the band, but last year, I mean, we were just out in like the public eye more, really, but we're not working. We're always working behind the scenes, and we have a heavy DIY thing that we do. And again, when you see the live record, you'll see how, once again, it's really quite DIY because it helps us save money. And I feel when bands do stuff like that anyway, it's much more personal for the people that enjoy the band and the product. So again, soon, very, very soon, we'll be very, very happy to tell everybody, probably within the coming weeks, October, that this thing will be out.
Well, for those that are intrigued, check out Coventry Carols. You can definitely look for them on YouTube, obviously to hear their work, see their videos. They are active on social media. I would assume primarily more or less Instagram. I know that's where I see you guys post.
Probably
more, a little less on Facebook, maybe.
I mean, I personally like Instagram the most out of all the social media platforms.
As do I now, yeah.
Yeah, just because there's a lot of like fun, nerdy stuff happening there. Like on my personal account, like I get to see people's VHS and toy collections and have a fun conversation with them.
Right.
But as far as social media goes, like, again, a lot of people that are in gigantic bands have people doing that stuff for them.
Right.
I do like 90% of our social media, and it's just wildly time consuming. Like I'll be home and I'll spend like an hour like on one post.
Yep.
And I don't like that. I don't like it. I just don't like it. We have to do it, I guess. Like I would much rather go out and like wheat paste the walls and like staple flyers to a telephone pole. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But that everything comes back around. So I'm sure, as uncool as we might be at the moment, we might be the coolest people in town in 6 months. But yeah, social media, like Instagram, Twitter, which is X now, I guess.
Right. And something like that.
TikTok, which I hate.
Oh my God. So do I.
And Facebook. When I post for the band, I will just copy and paste everything.
Right.
The same. Not all the time, but like 9 out of 10 times, I mean, they're all going to be kind of like the same post.
Sure. Well, just to help you out, and because I'm obviously not a spring chicken, but I am to a lot of technical aspects. In case you did not realize, at the bottom of Instagram, you can now connect that to like Facebook and Threads. So it'll simultaneously, at least you post on one and you got 3 out of it. So it helps a little bit.
Yeah, we don't have a Threads account. I don't have a Threads account. My personal social media, I deleted Twitter when it became X. I scaled down so much on my personal social media.
Yeah.
And, it's no offense to anyone if I deleted them from something, but it's just too much. Like I want to, if I'm having like 2,000 contacts on Facebook or something, like you and my best friend and so-and-so's band that I like and some artists that I like, they're all just being washed out to sea because I don't see anything from anybody because I see a bunch of noise.
Right. No, I agree.
So
yeah, like you said, it is very time consuming. It's become so political and you've got to be careful what you do and you're not allowed to do this anymore. And
that's the thing too. When I posted last week that the Forest Hill soundtrack was out and we had, we were given 25 physical copies of the CD. Yes, the compact disc, which is alive and well. I don't care what anybody says. Compact disc is my personal favorite form of media. I made like a really nice post about this. I was excited and, people were like, oh, that's so cool. And like a few hours later, Facebook was like, your post was deleted because it didn't meet our criteria or whatever, because it was pushing whatever type of information. I'm like, I
actually got this. I got the exact same thing because I tried copying and pasting a link from YouTube dealing with one of my personal, YouTube channel videos that I had done, and it went against their standards. So yeah, I'm with you. It's a lot of work and it's ridiculous, the way it's going nowadays.
It is ridiculous. And, a friend of ours who sells, makeup, she has this thing with her friend Lisa. It's actually Sugar Bear's brother's wife. She does this thing called Celeste. It's like a makeup thing. And, she'll go live and she'll like do her makeup and she's just hanging out. And she was listening to Coventry Carols in the background. Right. And it turned off her audio because it was like a rights thing. Like, I don't know. It was weird. I mean, I could listen to, I don't know, whatever in the background of a video and it won't be a problem. But like, you know what it is too? If you're not like wildly famous, you can't get in there. Nope. When we first released the video for The Crippling Fear of Night last August, we did really, really well that weekend. And it has like the most views on our personal YouTube page. Mm-hmm. But every single time it went to a high number, it went backwards. So if it was at like 1,000, it would be at 750. And then it would be at like 1,200 views, and then it would be 900.
Oh my God. So I can't even fathom the reasons behind that.
No, I don't know. YouTube was like, why is this video being watched, and who are these people, and who cares, because they're not making us any money. So, so it's like, I mean, it's the story as long as time, the little guy can't get a break type of thing.
And here we are. Yep.
I don't want to sound like some curmudgeon of sorts, but no, it's a drag. It's a drag. And I'm at a point where like, whatever will be. I know that we have something nice to offer artistically. And I just hope that, somebody will catch on to it.
Well, speaking of that beautiful little round piece of plastic that came in that nice cardboard box.
Yes, it's so cool.
Can people order that from your website, or does that have to come through?
We have, we were given 25 copies of the soundtrack when it came out, when we got our hands on it on Friday. And there are a few left. It comes sealed. It's just like an envelope, and it's nine tracks of really cool edgy alternative rock, indie rock, and it's Forest Hills movie soundtrack. Shelley Duvall, Edward Furlong, like you said, it's like just the craziest cast. And you're like, how can this movie not be gigantic? But we'll see how it goes. You know, it could wind up being like a cult thing, which is probably even better at this point. I remember I said to this guy Nizza that put the soundtrack together, I was like, oh man, you know, I listened to this thing and I was like, I had like Lost Boys soundtrack vibes. I'm like, it's like that. It's got like that cult vibe to it. And I'm like, man, if only something would happen and it caught on like that. I don't know.
Right. I mean, imagine if it did, and imagine thinking back to Lost Boys, just how popular that still is today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's it lives. The Lost Boys lives forever like an actual vampire,
right?
Like that, you know. Except this is werewolf centric. It's a little different. So,
there you go.
I mean, there's plenty of full moons left to come in our lives. So,
especially this time of year. I did want to also mention. I apologize. My good friend Corey Dean Cowley has a part in that film. We are slowly. Zoom has taken the clock off of my screen.
Okay.
If you look up at the top of yours, this is so embarrassing. Thank you, Zoom, for doing this to me. Do you happen to see a clock, a counter?
I see an okay, and I said this meeting is being recorded.
And that's all it's given you. God, it used to give me a nice little counter, and then it gives me a pop-up to upgrade. And that usually gives me about 3 to 5 minutes.
I was going to say, is it already? Are we at half an hour already? I mean, it could be, right?
We're probably getting close. Yes. And I don't want to cut us off. Real quickly though, Scott Goldberg actually put together a trailer for the,
like a promo, like a hype promo. And that was
you guys
really cool.
were in.
Yeah, last week I went to a screening, like a special thing that a lot of the people, some of the people that were involved with film were there, and we got a little like advanced treat of some stuff.
Nice.
And I mean, the next day or two, I turn around and he had put this really cool promo together, and who knows what's going to make anything, you know, whether it's cutting room floor, or it's actually going to be on the screen.
Right.
And I know he spent he probably had like an hour-ish of, you know, information that he recorded for this 2-minute thing, and I wound up in there. So yeah, something worked out.
Well, for those of you who did watch the show, I did open up with my apologies with the Crippling Fear of Night video. I'm actually going to have that said trailer that Scott Goldberg put together following this show after my show's credits. Give my producer his 10 seconds of fame on there for helping me with the show, my brother Tony Covington, and then we will be showing it. So stick around after the show to definitely watch that. Before we get cut off and it will blank the screen out, please. Names, dates, anything you've got, throw them out to me.
Well, CoventryCarols.com, of course, for everything. We've got a bunch of shows. We're going upstate this weekend, the 21st, October 5th. We're playing this thing called Moonlight Market, which is also local on Long Island. Then we have a little run out of town, 18th, 19th, and 20th. We're in Pennsylvania. We're in Connecticut. And then more local stuff. And we're getting into NYC December 1st at Arlene's Grocery. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Forest Hills soundtrack just came out. We got a live record coming out. All the social media junk. And just to circle back around.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat.
Here you go. Boys and girls, I want to thank you guys so much for coming out and watching and suffering through this guy's face on another episode of the Witching Hour podcast.
You're wonderful, John. I'm grateful for your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you for coming back. Boys and girls, Coventry Carol, please do yourself the favor. If you don't ever watch another one of my episodes, go check these guys out. Listen to them. I guarantee they will not disappoint.
Thank you.
at the end of this show, while you are watching, please take the 2 seconds to reach down below with your mouse cursor, hit the little subscribe button, and then subscribe to Coventry Carols as well.
Come on over,
share
kids.
the love. Look for me on your Roku channel. Download the free app. Free. I definitely appreciate your support. With that being said, boys and girls, thank you for joining us tonight. This is Jon with the Witching Hour podcast. My dear friend, Jon Soda, I appreciate your time, my friend. Give my best to the band, and I definitely look forward to seeing you guys on the road soon.
Yeah, thanks, Jon. We'll see you in a bit.
You got it, guys. Take care and keep it evil.
Come down to the movie theater, get some popcorn and some soda, bring your friends, come check out Shelley Duvall's final movie appearance.
I just saw The Forest Hills on the big screen. You've got to see it.
It was awesome to see Shelley on the big screen again. It's super bloody. Horror people are going to freak out.
It was dark, crazy, bloody. It was an awesome movie.
The Forest Hills is coming out nationwide to a theater near you, October 2024.
Rico! What did you do to me?